Welcome to the Real Life Weight Loss Podcast, where we cut through the confusion and get down to the truth about what really works for real people when it comes to losing weight, having incredible health, and a body that you love. We believe that losing weight is really about gaining life, doing things you never thought you could, having renewed confidence, and enjoying your body more than ever. I'm your host, Corey Little. Now let's get to it. Hello and welcome back. This is episode number 254, and today I'm going to give you a 4-step failure framework. 4 steps to failure. Now you may be like, dude, I don't need to know how to fail. Like I've mastered that on my own. I know I've mastered that on my own in some areas of life. So why am I doing this? Why am I laying out 4 steps to failure? Well, I believe that sometimes the best way to learn how to do something is by learning explicitly, specifically what not to do. And so that's what we're going to cover today. But first, I want to make a little deal with you, okay? I have a live free event, totally free, 100% live event coming up on August 17th, Thursday, August 17th at 8 p.m. You can register by going to everybodyhatesdiets.com, but you may be like, I don't know if I want to register. I don't know if it's for me. So here's the deal I want to make with you today. Listen to this episode, the full episode. If what I share connects with you and you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I feel that. I've said that before. I've thought that before. I've taken that approach before. Well, then I think it would be incredibly helpful for you to go to everybodyhatesdiets.com and register. That link is in the show notes. You can find it there. But if you listen to this entire episode today and you're like, man, Corey's off his rocker. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I've never said any of those things. I've never thought any of those things. Well, then by all means, don't attend. Don't attend the free live event that I have coming up. Okay, so do we have a deal? Listen, if it applies, I'll see you on the 17th. If it doesn't apply, well then you go about your merry way and I give you a high five. Okay? Okay. Now let's get into this. So what is this 4-step failure framework? What are the 4 steps to being sure that we fail when it comes to improving our health, changing our body, losing weight, all of that good stuff? Here we go. Step number 1. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Step number 1, the first part of this framework is that you must do it all. I mean, why should you exercise if you're not eating right? Why should you eat right if you're not working out? Why should you eat better at breakfast if your dinner sucks? Why should you worry about doing better at dinner if you already screwed up your entire day with lunch? I mean, did you see what you had for lunch? Oh my gosh, who cares what you eat for dinner? Your lunch was horrible. I mean, in other words, if you're going to do it, well, then you better do it all. Otherwise, what's the point? You won't get results. You'll just be spinning your wheels, get frustrated, and quit, right? I mean, you've done that over and over again. So you better get serious and you got to do it all. Instead of just spinning your wheels, instead of all that craziness, you've got to get a good plan together so that you can really nail it. Get all the sweets and snack foods out of the house, buy some new shoes and workout clothes, join the gym, meal prep for 17 hours on Sunday, buy a new cute little journal to record everything in. Be sure to wear your fitness tracker. If you don't have a fitness tracker, you better go buy a fitness tracker. You better download some cool apps. Get all the gadgets you need. Be sure to wear it. And then you better get after it. It's time. Because that's the only way you're going to get results is by really hunkering down, doing it all. And that brings us to step number 2, doing it all and doing it right. You must do it all and you got to do it right. I mean, if you're going to do it, then you better do it all. And if you're going to do it all, well, then by golly, you better do it right. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just wasting your time. So get fired up. Watch 44 motivational YouTube videos every day and commit to really doing it. Finally, for once, it's time to get it right. You've messed around enough in the past and screwed up enough. Now is the time to get it right. You're going all out. You're all in. You're going to nail it. I mean, you're ready to stop being a screw up and finally get some results. Yes, I'm fired up. Are you fired up? You're either going to do this right or, I mean, let's get real. You're just not going to do it at all because that's for losers. So I'm going to do it right. But what if you do mess up? I mean, there's no way. Like that's not going to happen. There's no way it's going to happen because, you know, you're so motivated and you're so fired up. But what if like one night, maybe, I don't know, you sleepwalk into the kitchen and unconsciously eat an entire bag of chips and a pint of ice cream. Like, what then? Well, that leads us to the third part of this framework. Step number 3, part number 3. Stop being so soft and get tough with yourself. Stop with all the crybaby stuff. Stop with the excuses. Now is not the time for grace and forgiveness. What? That's the wimpy stuff that's gotten you in trouble in the past. Screw that. Screw it. You're on a mission, man. No excuses. Play like a champion. Go hard or go home. No pain, no gain. Food, man, food is just fuel to me. I don't even care what it tastes like. You're fat. Your fat doesn't care about your feelings. And about 1,000 other motivational but empty Instagram memes and quotes. Just smear those everywhere. Now is the time for tough love. That's the only way you're ever going to get through this. That's the only way you'll ever stick to it and get results. So, just in case you do screw up, it's time to berate yourself like a drill sergeant. The stronger and meaner, the better. Because that's what it takes. Don't let yourself off the hook. Are you kidding me? That crap is for the pansies and the wusses. That crap has never helped you in the past, and you're sick of it, aren't you? I'm sick of it. I hope you're sick of it. Not this time. You're hardcore now. You're on a mission. You can take it. You can do it. Even if it kind of goes beyond tough love to hurtful love, if there is such a thing, well, so be it. That's fine. Bring on the motivational drill sergeant. I'm sick of being fat. I hate the way I look, and I need to get my butt in line. Next up, part number 4 of this incredible framework that's going to lead you to incredible success. Failure, excuse me. Part number 4, do it alone. Because, come on, only weak people need help. I got myself into this mess, and I'll get myself out of it, right? Plus, let's be honest, no one likes to ask for help. It's embarrassing, especially for all you men out there, right? You don't ask for directions. You don't ask for help. You can do this on your own. And I mean, how hard can it be to eat right and exercise? Come on, man. Eat less, move more. It's that simple. I know what to do. I've just got to do it. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Finally, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to follow through this time because I'm all in and I'm really going to do it. And I'm done being so soft on myself. I don't need no stinking trainer or coach or group or accountability buddy. That's just stuff that people tell you that you need because they're trying to sell you something. This crap ain't hard. Eat more vegetables, drink more water, eat less desserts. Bada boom, bada bing. I got this. I'm done. I'm set for success. Leave me alone. Now, my friends, let's be honest. There are parts of this 4-step process that probably sound like maybe sort of kind of good advice in a way. And I'm sure there are parts that you really connect with. And maybe there are parts that make you cringe. Maybe there are parts that had you chuckling. But I want to go over it again. Let's review it again. And I'm going to pull back the curtain to show you what each step really represents and what it really leads to. So starting at the top, part number 1, do it all. You must do it all. In other words, I mean, if you're going to do it, you better do it all. What's the point? You won't get results if you don't do it this way. You'll just be spinning your wheels, get frustrated, and quit. Well, congratulations. You just committed to a giant serving of overwhelm. This mentality leads to feeling incredibly overwhelmed, and it will absolutely crush you. It's just a matter of time. You may be able to hang in there for a few days, maybe a week or 2 weeks, but it will crush you with overwhelm. If we move on to phase 2 or step 2, you got to do it right. I mean, if you're going to do it, then you better do it all. And if you're going to do it all, well, then by golly, you better do it right. Otherwise, what's the point? You're just wasting your time. Get real. Once again, congratulations. You just got out your hammer and chisel, and you're now ingraining the self-defeating all-or-nothing perfectionist mentality. If doing it all, step 1, doing it all, if that crushes you with overwhelm, well, then doing it right, which really means I must do it perfectly or I suck, well, that is going to crush your belief. It fills your head with anxiety, and ultimately it leaves you feeling like you don't have what it takes. A few rounds on the gotta do it right roller coaster and your confidence is gone. You'll never lose weight, or at least you'll feel like you can never lose weight. And that takes us to step number 3. Stop being so soft and get tough with yourself. Now is not the time for grace and forgiveness and all that mushy emotional stuff. That's the crap that got you here in the first place. Okay. The overwhelm of feeling like you have to do it all has already crushed you. And the perfectionism of got to do it right has stolen away your confidence and left you almost no belief in yourself. Now it's time to fill your head with a heaping pile of hot, steamy shame. You're training yourself to ignore and mute emotions because, let's be honest, for what you're talking about, they're not helpful. And this detaches you from acknowledging or experiencing a full life. Essentially, you're trying to become a weight loss robot. I will succeed. Food is fuel. I don't care what it tastes like. That's bull crap. The only problem with this whole weight loss robot mentality, just in case you missed it, you're not a freaking robot. You're a human being with a real life and real emotions. Do we need tough love sometimes? Sure, yeah, absolutely. But we also need plenty of grace and forgiveness for ourselves and for others if we're ever going to not just lose weight, but if we're ever going to create a beautiful life that we enjoy living. Now let's move on. Lastly, step number 4, phase 4. Do it alone, man. Only weak people need help. How hard can it be to eat right and exercise? Eat less and move more. It's that simple. I mean, I know what to do. I've just got to do it. Okay. Let me be as crystal clear as I can. Losing weight, being fit and healthy is not about knowing what to do. It's not about knowledge. It's about know-how. I have never heard someone say, I always kind of knew what I needed to do, and then I finally just did it. After years of struggling with it, I finally just did what I knew I needed to do, and then I just kept doing it, and now I've lost 55 pounds and totally changed my life. Maybe that's happened, but in 20-plus years of coaching people and working in this field, I've never heard of that kind of success story. You know why? Because it's not about knowledge. It's not about knowing what I should do. Our success is all about know-how. There is a massive difference between knowledge and know-how. I've discussed this before on the podcast. In case you missed it, I'm going to quickly go over it again. Knowledge is just information. It's just answers to questions that's stored in your head. Know-how is skill. It's taking the knowledge, applying it in real life, encountering a new set of problems and questions, finding answers to those, applying that new knowledge, encountering more problems and more questions, finding more answers, and so on and so on and so on. That's the process of converting knowledge into results. And the only way you can gain know-how and get those results is through application. It's by putting that knowledge into practice repeatedly. But that's not what we do. So many people are like knowledge addicts, just looking for the next thing, but never building actual know-how. In other words, it's like our solution finder is broken. Many of us are looking for the wrong solution to our problem. It's cool to learn, and it might even give you a little dopamine buzz. It feels good, right? When you learn something new and cool, but knowledge won't change your life. Know-how can and will change your life. Now, here's what's so important. Please don't miss this. The process of losing weight isn't just about learning what to eat, what not to eat, and which workouts are best. It's about so much more. It's about taking control of your brain, your thoughts, seeing your limiting beliefs maybe for the first time, recognizing and changing your nonstop self-talk. It's about seeing patterns that you always end up falling into and not just doing a diet or a meal plan, but actually changing your patterns, changing those patterns and changing your habits, ingraining new habits. Ultimately, it's about repairing your relationship with yourself, learning how to achieve balance in your life, loving yourself, and showing up for yourself. That is how true successful weight loss is done. That's how you truly change your life. Yet, most people are stuck doing some version of the 4-step framework that I described. Got to do it all or I'm wasting my time. Got to get it right. Otherwise, what's the point? Got to stop being so soft and get really tough on myself. Stop letting myself off the hook. And you know what? I can figure this out on my own. I don't need help, which sadly, I didn't mention this earlier, but this is also a way for us to hide and to do our best to stay safe and not invite someone else into a process where we are scared to freaking death to mess up. It's much easier to fail when no one's watching, right? It's much easier to fail when no one's there than it is with a group of people. But, don't miss this. It's also much easier to stay down once you've fallen when you're alone than it is when you have a bunch of people pulling for you and supporting you. As the good book says in Ecclesiastes, 2 are better than 1. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Okay, look, if this makes sense, so it's time to circle back around to the deal we made. If what I've shared today makes sense and you're ready to escape that self-defeating cycle that I described in this episode where you're constantly starting and messing up and giving up and beating yourself up and then starting over again, if you're tired of that and ready to gain not just knowledge but life-changing know-how, then pause this episode right now. We're almost finished, but just pause it. Don't wait. Pause it right now and go register for my free class on Thursday, August 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will share some of the most important, most helpful stuff that I know about losing weight, and then this is where the magic happens. It basically will transform into a free coaching call. I'll answer all of your questions, help you figure out exactly what's going on with you, why you might be struggling, and how to break through so that you can finally get the results you want. Just go to everybodyhatesdiets.com. You can scroll down to the show notes. You can find that link there as well. Register and then attend. Look, one of the most powerful and helpful parts is the Q&A and the coaching that happens live on the call. I'll teach and then coach. And you can participate or you can just listen. It's up to you. But here's the thing. You can't listen or get coaching if you don't attend. You get zero benefit for registering but not attending because I don't send out replays to these live events. So put it on your calendar. Be sure to register, and I will see you on Thursday, August 17th. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, my friends? I hope this has been helpful. I also hope that you'll share this episode with someone who might need to hear it. And I hope that I'll get to meet you and maybe that other person too on the 17th at my free live event. I cannot wait. Hope to see you there. Thanks so much for your time today. I'm honored you spent it with me. Much love, my friends. God bless. Bye-bye.